Hi, this is Abel with ARC Outdoorsman. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of your new irrigation system. The first thing we're going to do is show you your main components, what they do, and then we'll kind of go through the way the system actually works. We'll adjust and test your heads individually, and finally we'll set your controller on the end. First off, we're going to find your main shutoff valve. This is where the main water is connected to your water meter and your water line. This is usually going to look something like this green box here in the front of the yard. Location can vary, but typically it's going to be right in the front of your house or close to your water meter, wherever that may be, depending on the system. In here you have a ball valve, just a plastic white ball valve. If it's running in line parallel with your piping, it's on. If it's running perpendicular, it's off. But we're just going to reach in here and make sure it's turned on. This area here is basically your main shutoff for the entire irrigation system from your home. So if you happen to have a leak on your irrigation system during some time that you're not home, or just really anytime you have a leak on your irrigation system, this is a great place to shut off the entire system. Next, I'm going to show you your backflow. What this does is prevents water from flowing from the irrigation system or outside water back into the inside of the home. It usually looks like a green bag like this. There's various other areas it could be, like inside of your hot water closet, or it could even be covered up by a different box. So this backflow here looks very similar to almost every backflow inside of the typical systems. This one is outside PVC. So these valves here are running perpendicular to the piping, so that lets us know that the system is off currently. We'll go ahead and make sure to turn this on, and then we'll run through your system and show you your valve boxes next. So these need to be perpendicular to confirm that they are off. And then now we have water flowing to the whole system. So water comes up, goes around, and comes back out here. So now I'm going to show you your valve boxes. This is where each of your electronic valves are sitting, and this is where basically the main line runs to the backflow to the valve boxes individually to each lateral line. If you have a break in your system on a lateral line, this will shut off each individual break per zone. So this is where you can physically shut off, for instance, zone 3, if zone 3 has a leak, and continue to run zones 1 through 5. So in here we have our individual valves. In this case, we have 5 valves in one valve box. You can utilize this box here to turn on, and your tech may utilize this valve box here on the exterior to turn on or off these valves without getting access to your controller. But typically there's not a whole lot you need to do inside of these valve boxes. More or less just control it off of the actual controller. So this is your controller for the irrigation system. Your controller may look a little bit different, but overall it's got the same controls. They do have, again, various settings. Typically they're going to be Rainbird or Hunter, but again, most of them are more or less the same settings. Very simple. You've got your auto run. This just runs the system as the setting that you put it at. You've got your set date, your set time, and your set watering times. All those, again, very simple to set. Your set watering times, this is what time your system actually runs. Typically we like to shoot for 4 o'clock in the morning, but you just click the plus and minus arrow depending on whatever your best fit is for your family. Now typically we want to run this first thing in the morning before anybody else is running. We don't want the irrigation system running whenever, say, someone's in the shower, you've got the dishwasher, laundry going, or so on and so forth. We really like to isolate when the irrigation system is running. Now you got your set station run times. This is how long each individual zone will run. Typically zone 1 is flower beds and will run around the house in order of sequence, essentially. Again, here you have your watering days. So you would come in here, let's say Monday we wanted to turn off the water, we would just click the minus button. Here it was already off, so now it's running, and then we can just push the positive button again, turn it off and on. But that's pretty much all there is to setting your dates. So right here it's showing that we're watering Tuesday, Thursday, and then we're off Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, you'll just switch individually to each one of these days. And that's your typical standard setup on your controller. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to test all stations. And what this does is allow every single zone to come up for a pre-designated amount of time. We're going to do 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, we're going to show you how to adjust and fix any heads that you may have in your system. So what you'll want to do here is you'll want to push your right arrow and then turn this over to auto. So these are the typical tools you need to adjust your irrigation heads depending on if it's Hunter or Rainbird. You may need different tools for different situations. You can find both of these at any big box store locally to you. So this is a 12-inch pop-up nozzle. What that means is this head pops up 12 inches. That allows us to spray both the front lower shrubs and then the taller back shrubs. And the way you adjust these is you just tighten to turn down the pressure coming out of this nozzle. You can see here we turn that nozzle off, and then you open it up to give more pressure and more width. The way these are sprayed, you can see these got these lines here on the front side. What that is the spray pattern shooting out from here. This is at 8/2, so essentially this one will spray out 8 feet radius at half a moon, half circle spray. So another thing you can do to adjust these heads, let's say for instance here, we've got a half nozzle, and let's say we want to turn our spray pattern. You can't actually adjust the radius here, but what you can do if you happen to be overspraying in certain areas that you may not want to, is you can grab this neck here to this head and physically turn it. And what that does is just change the actual spray pattern here. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to adjust your rotor heads. These are your second most typical heads that we have in the system. These spray about a 30-foot radius and kind of swing back and forth. Again, there's very minimal adjustments, just like the original pop-ups, but I'll show you how to do all those adjustments and fine-tune the system as needed. So we have 3 different adjustments. We have here your rain curtain set screw, we have your radius set screw, and then we've got this little nozzle here. I'm sure you're wondering what that little notch is for. So this is just to pull up the head. What you do is you stick this in here and you turn it, and it allows you to pull up the head while the system's off. But I like to adjust these systems, the rotors, as the heads are physically on. So you can see here, we'll adjust the rain curtain set screw first, but you basically just stick it in this front nozzle, keep on twisting, you'll find the tip of that head here, the tip of that nozzle. So once you find the set screw here, again, you'll be able to notice that as I turn to the left, our stream gets narrower, but actually shoots a farther distance. As you come in, you can tighten that to the right, and you can see our stream goes a little wider. And what that does is create a wider pattern, but shorter distance. This is an instance, if you're spraying on the house, you'll want to turn that to the right to bring that rain curtain back. And what that does is basically allow more dissipation of water in a shorter area versus a long stream. All right, so here I'm going to open up that rain curtain, or close it up, which will give us a little bit more distance to the spray pattern here. You can see now we're spraying almost a singular pattern. All right, so now I'm going to tighten this back up, and what that'll do is bring that rain curtain back and open up the width a little bit on that. So now the final adjustment you can do on these is your radius of your spray. You see you got a plus on this side and a minus on this side. You adjust this and it basically adjusts your arc that you're spraying. So in this case, we're spraying perfectly inside of our arc here, our corner, where we can go ahead and find the set screw and open it up. And as you can see, that spray is now a little farther to the right. And then here we'll turn it back down, and you can see we're spraying less. So you can actually turn this all the way down, and it'll have a very small arc, or we can turn it all the way up to actually spray 360 as needed in certain areas. And that's your basic adjustment on the rotor heads. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to adjust. This is an adjustable nozzle. You can typically tell because it's got a little notch here, and it usually has a cut in the middle, kind of similar to this, or a raised portion instead of the dots like the other pop-up nozzle. It's just like the other one. This can be, the pressure can be turned down and turned up. But here you have the adjustment of your radius, your arc here. And the way you adjust that is you literally just grab it from the bottom and you turn. So to the left, you can see that got down to like a quarter angle, and then you can turn it back open. And that's pretty much all there is to this adjustment on these nozzles. All right, so now I'm going to show you, this is a MP rotator nozzle. This will go on your standard 4-inch heads instead of your pop-up nozzle like we have shown in the past, the adjustable and the one that shows your set's radius. These are typically used in spaces that would be mid-range, so less than about 6 feet, 10 feet to up to about 20 feet. The spray pattern is a little different and the adjustments as well. A couple of basic adjustments you can do here. Sometimes they get clogged. You can pull these up and just move them up and down, and that'll allow the whatever might be clogging it to come out. And then you can push down on this nozzle and open it up. As you can see here, we're opening up that radius. More spray. And again, you may have these set in certain areas that you can adjust as needed to set the area correctly here. Next adjustment you can do is right here on the side. You can see where the radius starts. There's a nice white line here. And then you've got this little bit of adjustment here that you can open and close. And what that does here, so we're all the way open. We're gonna close it to the left. And what that does is minimize the amount of pressure that comes out of this nozzle. You can see it. Just like the other ones, you can really close it down. Again, these are mid-range, so you can't close them all the way down, but right now we're currently only spraying about 3 feet instead of the 20 feet that we were spraying a second ago. And again, we'll just turn it to the right. You can hear that pressure come out a little bit better, and that just sprays us a far little distance on this nozzle. Thanks again for watching our irrigation walkthrough video with me, Abel, at ARC Outdoorsman. We went through your whole system, showed you your main components like your main shutoff valve, your backflow preventer, and your valve boxes, as well as your irrigation controller inside of your garage. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at arcoutdoorsman.com, 918-576-1502, or find us on YouTube.